Dear ones, I am Archangel Michael. I want to start this week with you. No, there is nothing special this week, I just like to come here every now and then, to leave a little of my energy, my strength, my courage, for each of you. Is the walk difficult? The walk is hard, are you confused? Lots of things happening at the same time. Yes, I would say that for those who are on the road, that road of ascension, I can say that with each step taken, the road becomes a little more surprising. Don't imagine that you will have a flowery, clean road, without any obstacles, that you could even walk with your eyes closed, because you wouldn't trip, you wouldn't fall, but at the same time you also don't want to close your eyes, because the flowers are beautiful, nature becomes more and more splendid, but something strange seems to happen. You know that the road is like this, but your visions start to become a little blurred, it seems that you can no longer see anything clearly and clearly. I wonder why? So, let's explain what's happening to you here. Imagine yourselves inside a great whirlwind. No, don't imagine being completely covered in water. Imagine that this whirlwind happens from your neck down and you can't steady your footing. But that whirlpool isn't very deep, you can put your foot on the ground, but the force of the water takes you out of your place, shakes you, knocks you down. You often dive, you run out of air. She feels afraid, and suddenly her head returns to the outside and that whirlwind continues to move there. It feels like your body is changing, it feels like that water that is there around you is penetrating your skin, internally changing everything inside. Sometimes it hurts, sometimes it itches, sometimes it feels like goosebumps, sometimes it feels like you've been shocked. You hear noises, you hear voices, you hear singing, you hear music, it feels like you're going crazy. The world around you spins in the same direction as your whirlwind and you can no longer pay attention to anything. You want to fix your mind, your vision on one point, but you can't anymore, because you're spinning all the time. Oh, we can't forget the dizziness, the nausea, some even vomit. But what whirlwind is this? So, I really like to put things in images, because within your three-dimensional mind, you can understand it better. So imagine that you have a swimming pool, a small pool that only fits one person. The water is just below your shoulders. So you are there calmly, from time to time you dive, from time to time you return to the surface, it's warm, pleasant water, you're there relaxed. Then you decide you want to move up. You decide, no, I want to ascend, I want to get there. And when you think about this decision, you don't even need to say anything, just think, it's as if this pool suddenly became a big mixer. And you start to spin. Those waters, once so calm, so warm, begin to move you, or throw you to one side or the other. No, you don't get hurt because it's a special pool where the walls are soft. Then you can hit as much as you want and you won't get hurt. The speed is still not very high, but you already feel like you can no longer stay in place. And then at the same time, someone presents you with a beautiful program or several programs, which you could do from inside the pool. And then like television, you choose one of those programs to watch. And by a strange coincidence, each program you choose, the pool becomes more vigorous, and you try to turn off that program by changing the channel. Yes, but the pool didn't improve, it kept shaking him. Then you think you can replace one program with another, choose another one. Ah, bad decision, because the pool got even more agitated. And so you try to do a lot of programs, watch a lot of them, to try to make the pool stop. But with each one you choose, it becomes more and more agitated. And you want to get out of this whirlwind, you want to get back to that calm, you want to go back to lying in the hammock and asking for everything. But that little voice inside says, no, you have to ascend, you have to go through this whirlwind. So, each program that you chose is a transformative process, it is a process that changes your minds, it is a process that cleanses your souls, it is a process that makes you think differently. So this shaking of the pool is nothing more than ripping out of your body, your soul, your mind, everything that was stuck there, embedded, deep, inside your flesh, inside your soul, inside your mind. And these processes are not simple, you have to shake a lot for it to come out, come off of you. So this shaking is a request for forgiveness, it is a movement of forgiveness, it is a new decision not to commit that thing anymore, it is a new journey thinking differently, it is looking at the other in a different way. Every shake is not judging, every push is not criticizing, every forced dive is not judging. And with that, over time, you start to enjoy this shaking. You begin to learn to keep your bodies balanced, even within the whirlwind. Because their bodies are cleansing themselves. Then that whirlwind starts to get a little weaker. Now if you slip, if you go back to having old thoughts, old attitudes, the whirlwind returns, because you have carried back everything that has already been removed. So understand, my brothers, doing a meditation, doing a procedure, doing anything we go through is not eternal, it works in that moment that you do it and remains, if you remain balanced. If you don't take care of yourself, if you focus on non-positive energies, all that work is gone. It's as if you didn't do anything. This is why the Ascension walk is a back and forth. You take steps forward, difficult, dragging, now coming back is quick and has speed. That's why many times, you don't leave the place, you seem to be swimming, swimming, swimming and never arrive at the beach, even though you can see the beach right there. Because you slip. You let bad thoughts populate your minds. You connect to energies that are not good. Of course, I'm not going to tell you, and I can't say this, that nothing you do is unnecessary. Because every time you make a decision to do something, you are propelled forward. This is what makes you move forward. Now, unfortunately, you also come back all the time. Everything that lowers your energy makes you come back, and you come back at an absurd speed, because that's how it is. If we just did everything we went through, you would already be there on Thursday, but that's not the case. Everything we go through and guide you, definitely moves you forward. Now everything that you vibrate wrong, pushes you back and you go back many steps, whereas, when you do a procedure, when you watch those programs, on our television, you walk forward, but it's not a fast walk, it's a walk slow. Why is it slow? If we have so much strength, if we have so much love in everything we do for you, why is it slow? Because this needs to change their minds. Learning is what keeps you ahead. When you are aware of negative energy and you say no to it, learning has happened and then you don't go back. You may not even go forward, because you encountered that energy, but you don't go back. So that learning happened, the steps you took forward, you're still there, you haven't gone back. So it's learning that makes you move forward, it's not our processes. They propel you forward, now staying there is your learning, it's every point, it's every moment, every choice you make. Then you stay up front. Don't think that doing everything we went through will take you to the fifth dimension. I repeat again, what we went through is just an impulse, it's as if we catapulted you forward. Now staying there, it's not what we go through that does. It's the decisions, it's the choices, it's the energies that you connect with. Moving forward on the road to ascension is not difficult, there are many techniques that help. The big problem is to stay there, at the point where you arrived. But I guarantee you, as time goes by, that whirlwind will no longer become strong, because you will have learned your lesson. Today, when you make a false step, your bodies scream, your minds scream. Those who are aware feel, I did something wrong. Because your own body already manifests itself. So at this point, it's time to stop and think, what did I do wrong? And the simple fact of stopping, sitting down and analyzing already shows that you are aware. Your return will not be as great because you are learning your lesson. So every time you make a mistake and are aware of your mistake, that slip back isn't as violent, you don't miss out on as much of the road. So at this moment, the only thing you need to worry about is your thoughts, your attitudes, your words, your feelings, so that you can stay where everything you are doing is taking you. Otherwise, you go back and forth, but you come back a lot and you will have to start all over again on the journey. No, you do not need to start all the procedures over again, this would be unfeasible. It's just a learning experience, stay where you are. But learn to be aware of the mistakes you make, of what you are emanating. Everything has consequences, with every action a reaction. So be very careful, have a lot of respect for every choice you make, so that you can stay ahead, where everything you do is taking you. Learn, there is no point in asking for forgiveness from us. Ah, I made a mistake, forgive me. No, 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 don't ask us for forgiveness, because we don't judge or forgive anyone. Because there is nothing to forgive. You didn't do anything to us, you did it to yourselves. But don't judge yourself, don't crucify yourself, don't martyr yourself either. Did you make a mistake? What do you have to do? Decree that that mistake will never be made again and keep your word. Don't allow that mistake to involve you again. Learn to live unconditional love, this is the first and biggest step. Because when you make the decision to live with only unconditional love, everything else becomes small, everything else becomes easy to take. Because living in unconditional love is what is difficult. That's where you hurt, you don't act with love, you may not even speak, but you think by criticizing. So close your thoughts and mouths. When you realize that you are going to do, say, or act, or think something wrong, stop immediately, change the vibration. Because if you change the vibration, the slip is small, it instantly stops. And you changing the vibration, you start moving forward again. This is the big lesson. Don't put everything into the procedures and techniques you do, they are not miraculous, yes, they do drive you forward, if done with love, with dedication, they do. But you are the ones who stay ahead, not the technique. So don't think that by doing technique A, B, C, D, E, 1,000 techniques, you will be increasingly ahead. Yes, they will be more and more ahead, but every mistake you make, every mistake you don't take care of, you go back, back and back in all that space you walked, you will lose everything. So don't use techniques as a springboard, so that you can get to the front faster and stay there. You will get to the front, but staying there is another story.